So the Xiaomi 13 is now out for just over a month, and today we will take a deeper look into what the camera actually can do, since this one rocks a 50 megapixel Leica main camera that can capture videos in 8K and 24 frames. You get the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset, so gaming is a lot of fun on this bad boy, and overall the design of this phone is just gorgeous. But let's start and see what we get inside this box. So like with all of the Xiaomi 13 models, we get a free silicone case, which I really like a lot, and there are some paper stuff as well. Now further down, we get to the smartphone itself, and I wouldn't say that this one is a lightweight. Now, I've got the white version, but there's a black and a mint green version as well. All the way down at the bottom of the box, we'll find our charging cable and a 67 watts fast charging brick. Now over to the design and some of the specs. Now the Xiaomi 13 rocks a 6.36 inch AMOLED display, which is actually a little bit smaller than what we get on the Xiaomi 13 Lite. Now, on the back side of the phone, you already see the huge Leica camera. We get a 50 megapixel main, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 10 megapixel telephoto lens, built on a pretty large element on the back side. But the phone doesn't wiggle around on a flat surface since the camera is actually that big. We get an aluminum frame, plastic bag, and on the front we get Gorilla Glass 5 as for the protection. Now the design reminds me a little bit of my iPhone 13 that I have. Now you have a small selfie camera on the front, which doesn't take away that much of the screen, and overall the Xiaomi 13 is a pretty elegant smartphone. Now, by the way, this one is IP68 water and dust resistant for 30 minutes and weighs in at around 185 grams, which is a little bit on the heavier side of smartphones. So the 6.36 inch AMOLED display comes with a nice 120 Hz refresh rate that you can manually lower down to 60 Hz or put it in a dynamic mode. Now, through Dolby Vision and the Full HD Plus resolution, pictures and videos look amazing. You get a sharp contrast thanks to the OLED display, colors look vivid and poppy, and viewing angles don't change at all when you tilt your phone to either side. Now, the small selfie camera on top of the phone pretty much disappears when you watch videos for more than just 60 seconds, and through the 1200 nits of brightness that this phone offers, you can easily watch all of your movies in the park on a hot summer day. Now sound-wise, the stereo speakers will blast your ears and you can easily hear all of your videos even though you got some music popping in the background and a barking dog. But here's a quick example on how it sounds. The size you choose will depend on your personal preferences and the size of your wrist. The 40mm size is great for those who prefer a smaller watch. As for the battery life, you get a 4500 mAh battery inside of the Xiaomi 13, which is actually a little bit bigger than what we get in the new Samsung Galaxy S23. That one only has a 3900 mAh battery, but for some reason the Xiaomi smartphone doesn't last as long. You can expect to get around 1 full day of battery life with about 7 hours on-screen time, which is decently good. Now when it comes to charging this bugger, the 67 watts fast charging brick will charge your phone from 0 to about 80% in just about 30 minutes. Now you can also wireless charge your smartphone with 50 watts, which takes about 48 minutes, and there is a wireless charging option as well, just in case you want to charge any of your other Huawei devices. So playing on this smartphone is a lot of fun. Now the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 really does a good job. Like the Xiaomi 13 Lite, this one has a game turbo as well, so you can put it in a high performance mode. There's a D&D mode, you can record your screen and take screenshots during your games. Plus you have a sidebar with a lot of apps that will open up in a floating window so you can play while you're working on a document or write a quick SMS. Playing my games worked just fine and there was no lagging at all. Not at the crowded start, not during some crashes, or when I tried to do some fancy spinning tricks. Also, navigating on this phone feels very smooth with the 120 Hz display. Swiping around on the display, opening up tabs and apps work very fast, and overall I would say that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 does an awesome job. Alright, on the Xiaomi 13 we get the newest MiUI 14, which is based on Android 13. Unlike what we get with the Xiaomi 13 Lite, this one still runs on Android 12 for some reason. So you get a whole bunch of pre-installed games on it, like you get Stackball, TikTok, Snapchat, and Spotify, which eats up a little bit of your storage. So there are a few different options when you want to buy the Xiaomi 13 with either 128, 256, or 512 gigs of internal storage. And the reason why you should really think twice before getting one of those models is that there is no extra card slot for a micro SD. So you are stuck with what you get. So my 256 gigs model, 13 gigs are already used up by the system. The Xiaomi 13 comes with 3 years of OS updates and a whopping 5 years of security updates, which is even more than what Xiaomi offered on the last year's flagships. So this phone will definitely last a while, and it's a fair competitor to the likes of a Samsung or an Apple. You also get all of the standard features like a fingerprint sensor as well as a face detection, which both work just good. I did have some problems and it didn't get my finger, but that was only a few times. Of course, this phone also comes with a few gesture controls like taking screenshots by swiping with your 3 fingers on the display. You can launch the camera by double pressing the power button or take partial screenshots by long pressing with 3 fingers on the display and then create a screenshot with a different form and size. So the camera on the Xiaomi 13 is probably the best part. Right here we get a 50 megapixel Leica main camera that can capture videos in 8K and 24 frames, 4K and 1080p with each 60 frames per second. Now you get also a 12 megapixel telephoto and a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. Now on the front we also get a 32 megapixel selfie camera with which you can shoot videos in 1080p and 30 frames. Now here are a few examples for you guys. Now of course this smartphone also has many other features such as a portrait mode, night mode, there's a pro mode as well, and if you click on more you will find a few different video modes like vlogging and short videos, but also long exposure and dual video. Pretty awesome for a smartphone that costs right around 1,000 euros over here in Germany. Now guys, I've also covered the Xiaomi 13 Lite, which is only half of the price. Just click that video right here to get right to it. And I guess with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.